I basically run a software engineering company, and like most people in tech right now, we're swimming in AI. But here's the truth that no one wants to say, right? AI isn't here to replace your engineers, but if you know how to use it right, it can make them 10x more effective. And in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how I use AI to speed up software development inside of my company without sacrificing quality, and most importantly, without becoming dependent on it, right? So if you don't know me, hey, I'm Deric, and over the last 5 years, I've bootstrapped multiple tech companies from zero to over $80,000 per month. No investors, no fancy suits and meetings, and just real results, right? And a lot of iteration. Now I run a full stack development and AI company, as well as a coding bootcamp, and we're integrating AI in everything that we do. And by the end of this video, you're going to learn exactly how to use AI inside a tech team, especially if you're managing developers or building software yourself. And I'll show you how we use it to write better code, scope faster, and work more efficiently, and also tell you what not to do because there's a lot of noise out there. So here's how we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about how we use AI to write and review code without breaking our app. We're going to use how we use AI to scope projects to speed up client delivery. We're going to talk about why AI can't replace junior developers now and what to do about it. We're going to talk about my favorite tools for all of this and how we plug them into our workflow. We're going to talk about real numbers, use cases, and stories from our team. Let's go. So using AI to write code, first things first, yes, we use AI to write a lot of our code. Everyone does now, but here's the big difference. We don't trust it blindly. Let me explain. The biggest trap that I see people fall into is thinking that ChatGPT or Copilot or Claude is going to replace their developers. It's not, right? What it can do is help your developers move way faster, but it's not going to make things any smarter if you're relying on it. And if your developers don't know what they're actually doing in the first place, they're just going to copy and paste AI answers and pray. And that's the worst, the biggest recipe for technical debt. Here's what we do instead. We use ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot as assistants, not engineers. When we need to spin up a React component or clean up repetitive boilerplate, we use AI prompts to generate the skeleton code. And this is the key, right? We always review it line by line. Everything that gets merged into our code, we understand every single line of it. And we make sure that it fits into our system architecture. Think of it like this. If AI is your junior intern, then your senior developer needs to be the mentor. You wouldn't let your intern deploy to production, right? Same thing here. So why do we do this? It's because AI is pattern matching. It doesn't understand your product. It just guesses what looks right. A few months ago, we were building a complex dashboard for a client, and the AI generated code looked fine. But under the hood, it wasn't doing things correctly, and it re-rendered everything on every click. The performance was trash. And if we hadn't reviewed it, we would have shipped it down to the client and they would have gotten a broken UX, right? And that's why every AI generated line goes through a human QA, no exceptions, no matter what. The next would be scoping projects faster with AI. This one is underrated because we use AI not just to write code, but to scope projects faster. Let me walk you through how we used to do it. A client comes in, explains what they want. We sit down, write a long scope document from scratch. Think about architecture, endpoints, user flows, the schema, edge cases. It takes days, right? Of full-time work. And now we just drop down rough ideas in Google Doc or in Notion. We talk about what tech stack we're going to use. We're going to talk about the major features. We're going to talk about the setup for authentication. We're going to talk about databases or the cloud services that we're going to use. Then we drop it into ChatGPT or GPT-4 and ask, what did I miss? What questions should I ask before I send this to the client? And boom, it gives us a list of additional considerations, rate limiting, role-based access, data backups, fallback UIs, things that we might have overlooked. Well, I'm not saying that's perfect because it's not perfect, but it does help us catch the blind spots before they become problems. Why does this matter? Because bad scoping, it equals to bad delivery, which equals to unhappy clients. And we charge for results, not just ours. So using AI like this helps us ship cleaner documents faster, plus GPT formats it nicely. It's like having an extra project manager who doesn't sleep. Now let's talk about a trap that I see a lot of companies or influencers fall into. They hire junior developers who don't know how to code, and then give them ChatGPT and just pray for the best. That's not engineering. That's babysitting an AI and hoping it builds something useful, right? Any 5-year-old can prompt something in ChatGPT, right? But here's the truth. If your developers can't debug on their own, they're no better than the AI that they're using. And we've tested this internally. We gave the same bug to a junior developer and to GPT. Neither could fix it. You know why? Because neither of them understood the full context of the code base. This is why I say AI should amplify great engineers, make great engineers even better, make them 10x better, right? Not replace them. You still need someone who can think in systems, someone who can understand architecture, someone who can make trade-offs, someone who can write maintainable, readable code. And a good developer can use AI to go from 1x to 5x. A bad developer will just go from 0.5x to mess, right? Basically. So the tools that we use here, the tech stack, right? Because I know some of you will be wondering what we're actually using. So our real workflow will be GPT-4 via ChatGPT Plus or API for code suggestions, for refactoring, for scoping. We use GitHub Copilot to integrate it directly into VS Code for inline code generation. We use Notion for our documentations and to clean up scoping drafts. We also use AI native code editor built on GPT, Claude, or DeepSeek. We also occasionally use Gemini or Claude for brainstorming, but GPT-4 is still our go-to for code-heavy tasks. So if you're a solo founder or running a small dev team, you don't need to know all the bells and whistles. Just stick to GPT or Claude and a developer who knows what they're doing, and it's going to bring you 80% there. So let's talk a bit about what happened to our team ever since we integrated AI into it, right? We've cut scope document writing time by 50%. Our front end builds are now 30 to 40% faster. Our team spends less time on boilerplate and more time on high impact work. And most importantly, we've shipped more projects way faster. And that's the key, right? It's not about saving money on headcount. It's about compounding productivity without sacrificing quality, right? We're not replacing people here. We're just upgrading their toolkit. So here's the key takeaway. AI is the tool. It's not your team. If you learn how to use it with intention, it can make your team unstoppable. If you hand over the keys without oversight, you will just end up with a broken code and broken deadlines. So don't fear it. Don't worship it. Don't become reliant on it. Use it strategically. So if you're a founder, you're a CTO trying to build software faster, I hope this gave you a clear look into how we're doing it. Let me know in the comments what's one way you're using AI in your work today. I try to reply to as many as I can. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.